Hey, welcome back. We were diving into the must-know processes that power your background checks. So today we're tackling a topic that trips up even pros. It's the 7-year, 10-year unlimited searches. Now, these terms sound simple, but they're a minefield of confusion, and we're going to make it crystal clear, have some fun while we're doing it, and turn you into a buyer who asks the right questions. All right, let's roll. So what's the deal with 7-year county searches? It's a phrase you see in screening packages all the time, but it can really mean two different things, and that's where the trouble starts. Now, option one, and I've seen this is probably the number one way, it limits your address history to 7 years, meaning you only search counties where the applicants lived in the last 7 years. Option two, it limits the reported records to those from the last 7 years, no matter where they lived. Most buyers don't even realize there's a difference. And screening companies, well, they love the ambiguity. It keeps costs low, but could leave you anyway, with gaps. As the former chief operating officer of that data company, that data provider, I've seen this confusion cost companies big time. All right, so let's break it down. Here's the key. Limiting address history to 7 years, like many screeners do, cuts down the number of counties you search. If your applicant lived in a county 8 years ago, that's off the table. They're not going to add that. Why does that matter? Because they might have a conviction under a maiden name or under that name or an alias from that county, and you'll miss it. A 2021 industry report says 30% of people use alias names, and older addresses often hold those records. Go for 10 years, you get more counties. Unlimited, that's the whole enchilada. You get all counties, every county they've ever lived in. But here's the catch. More counties, more names, more searches, more cost. So a 7-year limit keeps prices low. But it's like checking half the house for burglars, right? You're gambling. So I worked with a huge retailer, hundreds of stores, who wanted to slash screening costs. They told their vendor, limit the address history to 4 years to find jurisdictions. That's right, 4 years. So if an applicant lived somewhere 5 years ago, that county wasn't searched. They hired a store manager who seemed perfect. Clean screen, great resume. 6 months later, $18,000 loss. Turns out he had a theft conviction in a county he lived in 6 years ago. Missed because of the 4-year term limit or the 4-year limit on the counties. Now, the flip side, limiting records to 7 years. Now, it's rare, but it still happens. Some companies say, hey, we only want records from the last 7 years because older stuff won't affect our decision, and that's fine if it's intentional, but it's not common. Most 7-year searches are about address history, not record age. And don't get it twisted. Even with a 7-year address limit, the records found in those counties could be older. A county might have data going back 20 years. The limit is on the jurisdictions searched, not the age of the crimes. Confusing? Yeah, I get it. That's why you've got to ask, are you limiting addresses or records? Here's how you nail this. When you see 7-year, 10-year, or unlimited in a county description, ask these questions, okay? Address history or records? Is the 7-year limit on where they lived or the age of the crime? Great questions. Alias names. Are all legal names searched in every jurisdiction, no matter the time limit? It's cost versus risk is what's up. Is the savings worth the risk of missing an older record? For roles around vulnerable populations, kids, elderly, patients, go unlimited. You can't afford to miss a conviction from a county they left 15 years ago. It's been a long time, and I'm telling you, clarity on these terms is almost a superpower. Almost every blow-up or big mistake cleanup that comes our way is because the HR pro wasn't as clear as they thought and had a knowledge gap that they didn't know about. Bottom line, 7-year, 10-year unlimited searches are about balancing cost and coverage. A 7-year limit might save you bucks, but leave you blind to risks. Unlimited costs more, but protects better, especially for high-stakes roles. Don't let vague terms trick you into weak screens. You're not just screening. Remember, you're helping keep people safe. All right? That's Module 4, Lesson 2, your guide to decoding 7-year, 10-year, and unlimited searches. Next, we're diving into access fees. Stick with me here. You're killing it.